Hello? Can everybody hear me? It's Mumamo, I hope. See, it's more like new Mamo, right?
New
Right.
memo.
Yeah. So we could be streaming right now to Moonbeam, but in addition to, excuse me, I'm getting all choked up over it. In addition to streaming to Moonbeam, we are also utilizing a brand new kind of home base. But it's not new. But always a pleasure. Hi guys.
Hi.
We've got Alex Thomas and Steve Kenson. These are the masterminds. I guess I'm the mutant.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at that. I am heard. Good, fool of a monster. Good to see you. Bob, I'm not sure how to say your name. Bob Shue? Bob Shue? Bob Shue. Let me know, Bob. Maybe with some something phonetic. Jay Gray's here. Good. Devious, of course. Squire, good to see you. And let's see who else we got. Bear Wise, Bear, I saw your message earlier. You made it on time just to find out that the time changed. I'm glad you persevered and hung
Yes.
for a
Thanks
bit.
for sticking around.
Yeah,
Thanks,
absolutely. Really appreciate that. Let's see. I need to find this music for my stream. Linkara has the AT4W theme that sounds like this. I kind of like it. It's kind of kitschy. It's sort of
Kind of bounce.
yeah. It's fun. It's fun. It's come to mean Mumamo to me.
Yeah.
Falcon, good to see you too.
Hello, heroes. Have you heard the good news?
Destiny Pilot says, "Bring on the armored battlesuits. Time to armor up and put some iron in their diets. Get it?"
Mm-hmm.
Warden Maximus, good to see you too. Everybody's hanging out today, and I appreciate it. So we're talking about what are we talking about? We're talking about battlesuits.
Talking about battlesuits. Yeah.
Battlesuits.
And it is a facet of comics that I just never really picked up on, but it is a very distinct piece of the culture. Battlesuits, very specifically.
It is.
And so we're talking about the history of battlesuits and comics and such, and I'm imagining we'll talk about the history as it relates to Mutants and Masterminds lore as well. But kick it off. What are we dealing with here?
It is the kit of my favorite damsel in distress for the Earth Prime universe. Daedalus, our good boy.
That's
Yep.
right.
Who often finds himself in trouble.
Yes, right. That's right. And you happen to own a pair of armor, Daedalus armor panties. I think panties. I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
Yes, and you can buy them in the, in the Green Ronin online store if you like. I'm gonna mute myself one
They're
second.
very comfortable.
Not metallic at all.
Not metallic at all. I do not feel safe in them, but I feel comforted.
Right. Yes. I like that. Stan, good to see you. With the matching brassiere, I think that's one that you light on fire, perhaps, the way you're spelling it.
That's the matching brazier.
Yeah, that's the brand. Yes, exactly. Light the fires.
The beacons are lit. Daedalus calls for aid. And Hades will answer.
That's right. And who else in our world, the Mutants Masterminds world, has a battle suit? Like I've seen these three ladies down here, kind of in the classic Charlie's Angels, but armor mech'd out. I love it. Who are they?
And they, of course, are classic artists. Draw some people in battle suits. So we honestly have no idea.
Nice. Well, so I love it when we uncover that kind of stuff because it's like maybe it's something we kind of juice up and make real for the Cape and Cow Club.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about sometimes we just get art and then they say make a character about this. It's one of my favorite parts of the job.
I love it.
Sometimes.
Absolutely love it.
Other battle suits in Earth Prime, there's Ultramarine over in the Emerald City Sentinels, who's a lot of fun.
Indeed. I'd say our big battlesuit villain is Overshadow, at least as far as primary guy with a battlesuit. And just mentioning Overshadow's name kicked Alex out of the chat. It's crazy.
It did what? It kicked off a what?
It kicked Alex right out of the stream for a minute there.
Oh, well, yeah, it's...
Am I back? I think I'm
But
back.
you're back. Yeah, expect a little weirdness, friends.
Overshadow's still mad at me because of the whole beat him with emotional damage at.
I think he is. I don't think he's gotten past that yet.
No.
I love that. And the other thing as well is, so just I wanted to, I'm going to be honest. The history of battlesuits, I was a little dubious of the topic. I thought the history of battlesuits. I mean, come on, like the history of it. But there is a long, storied history.
There is indeed,
and it's quite interesting. I also learned, I don't know if this is MCU or if it's, but that Pepper Potts ended up in an armor suit, in a battle suit.
Yes, called the Rescue Suit, designed by Tony Stark. Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. So is that MCU or is that comic
Uh,
book?
it is both MCU and comics.
Okay, got you. Let's see, what do we got cooking in the chat here? Do you all have distinctions on what is a battle suit versus power armor? Okay, or is it more of a vibe?
It's a bit more of a vibe. Honestly, battle suit and power armor are fairly interchangeable terms for the most part. So yeah.
Well, I wanted to, so this does open up, and of course, Squire, being the controversial person that he is, I'm just kidding, Squire's the least controversial, but there is a debate as to sort of what constitutes battle armor, and Ant-Man comes up as a, is what Ant-Man is wearing, is it I guess technically feels like it could be, but is it also something else, or is it a thing altogether different?
I think it's similar. I would build it the same way as I would build Iron Man. It's just a different set of powers being used by something you put on.
I mean, in Mutants and Masterminds game terms, generally speaking, battle suits are going to be a set of removable powers. They're going to be powers that the character can potentially get taken away from them. And of course, removable covers all kinds of devices, from Ant-Man's helmet and shrinking gas to Iron Man's armor to Captain America's shield to Thor's hammer, for that matter, and many, many other things. Whether or not those things constitute a battle suit, that gets to be kind of sort of semantic definitions.
Yeah.
To me, battle suits are something that is usually some kind of full and enclosed suit of some sort. I don't know if Ant-Man's costume counts as quite the same thing as Iron Man's armor, but I mean, it is certainly a device that gives him powers.
Claude brings up, I didn't see this. I need to dig around in there, but there's a really cool looking battle suit hero in the Super Team Handbook with a spread of indigenous heroes.
Yeah, we looked at that illustration a while back, in fact, and a lot of folks are very intrigued by who those characters may be, because that's another one of those illustrations of a group of heroes who we don't really know anything about. So,
oh, I love it. I love that. Let's see. Here's a question, or not, or a comment really. King Snarf says Dr. Mayhem from Freedom's Most Wanted for second edition, another villain battle suit.
Another battle suit. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a fair number of them.
Overshadow's powers. What is Overshadow?
So, Overshadow is a curious combination of a reincarnated sorcerer from ancient Egypt, and who is reincarnated into a Nazi in World War II, became head of the sort of Nazi cult of sorcerers called the Thule Society. And later, in his quasi-immortal clone bodies, has also built himself a suit of power armor that lets him go head to head with pretty powerful superheroes for the most part. So he's quite an eclectic bad guy when it comes to that. He's all science and super sorcery.
Got it. Yeah. Well, I think we did. Yeah, we talked about a mix of science and magic, didn't we, at some point? Or am I just imagining that?
No, that's definitely Overshadow's shtick.
Yeah, I like that. Simon brings up something interesting. I do like this, the concept of, sort of the person who's, mitigating a disability. I'm not sure what a hemicorporectomy is, but the idea of somebody sort of experiencing some mobility issues, then being able to be free and kind of
Yep.
through a battle suit. I love
There,
that.
wa- there was I'm dating myself here, but there was a classic old TV show called Mantis. I think it was in the late 70s or at some point. Carl Lumbly, of all people, who voiced Martian Manhunter on Justice League Unlimited, amongst others, played a scientist who was paraplegic and basically built himself a battle suit that allowed him to walk.
Ah, yeah, I love it. I love the concept. And it's I just anything that we can do to sort of expand opportunity for people to be represented and all of that. It's a whole bunch of
Yeah,
wonderful stories can kind of
yeah.
unfold from
Doc Void was Mantis in the 90s, really? Oh wow, much more recent than I thought.
that. Now, King Star said, I believe Bozo the Iron Man was the first battle suit in comics. Is that true?
That's possible.
Was
I
he
mean,
also a
put your word on
clown?
it, King. He was a robot, but then
Yeah.
I could climb and say, sure.
Yep.
Bozo the battlesuit.
Some folks definitely made a distinction between, and we've talked about this before too, about the difference between battle suits and mecha, and that basically, you wear a battle suit and you pilot a mecha, but it is often a kind of a fine distinction as far as that
I
goes.
got you. Yeah, and when I'm thinking of Valiant real quick,
Bozo the Iron Man is terrifying.
it
Well,
really, I gotta say,
as most really old comic book characters are.
let me take a look
It
at.
looks like Bender, like from Futurama on drugs. Like
I used Bozo the Iron Man as kind of a template almost for my
for Domo.
yeah, for Domo. Yeah.
Mhm.
I saw that inspiration immediately when I googled the picture.
100%.
Right.
100%. That's great. How fun. Yeah, Bozo the Iron Man. So yeah, maybe more mecha than not, but up for debate. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. Full of Monster says, I've always assumed power armor was more clunky and battlesuit was more agile.
Yeah, I mean, you could slice it that way, but again, they've largely been used pretty interchangeably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, with the typical, Mutants and Masterminds, there's many different ways to sort of do one thing, and right or wrong. It's always kind of fun to debate just a little bit, but now that I'm thinking about it, as we kind of talk about it, I don't feel like Ant-Man's suit is a power armor.
I wouldn't call it power armor myself.
Yeah.
But to each their own.
Yeah, I don't want to call it power armor, but I don't know. Battlesuit feels right to me for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's, it's a suit you wear into battle, I guess, so.
Well, yeah, I will always wear my tuxedo into battle. Well, here's a question. So we used power armor in chat. We've used battle suit. We've used there's a couple other mentions. What is there a distinct difference? Are we kind of on the same ballpark, or is there really a?
Yeah, I think we're all in the same ballpark, and I don't think it's it's enough of a difference to get into a tizzy about.
Sure. Okay, awesome. Let's see.
Squire says, "Do I need to take it completely off to go to the bathroom?" And Tony Stark would say, "No."
Nope. Not if you know what you're doing.
Right.
How do you pee in that thing like this?
Interesting. Yeah. So King Star brings up, if we consider Ant-Man a battle suit, Doctor Strange, is that a battle suit?
Well, technically, the cloak of levitation is not a suit; it's an accessory. But
fair enough.
It's a sidekick.
Thank you, Simon, for the definition of hemicorporectomy. Let's see. So we're talking about removal stuff. I'm just checking the chat here.
I do think it's important that whatever we're describing is around the person who is piloting it.
Yeah. Generally speaking, that's kind of the definition of a battle suit. Is it tends to be a suit of usually armor that is pretty much completely covering the wearer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There are definitely some variations on
sure.
that.
SC Pilot brings up too, as far as powers go, battlesuits can have
Yep.
any power. I like that.
Sure can.
Why not? Yeah. Darkness
Magic
control.
battlesuits, quantum battlesuits,
Quantum battlesuits. I like the sound of that.
beaver-based battlesuits.
Yep.
Beaver or fever.
Well, right. If you could have a porcupine-based battlesuit, which Marvel does, you can definitely base it on any other mustelid you want.
Yeah, exactly. Musculid, which is something that I learned when we were talking about, rats. Okay, so who else do we have in? Well, I always skip over DC. Sorry, DC fans. I don't mean to, but Batman's got some armor.
Yep. Yeah. And there's been plenty of cases of Batman either wearing a battle suit or piloting a mecha, or things like that.
Yeah. Steel is my preferred battlesuit.
Steel is probably the top DC battlesuit hero as far as it goes.
Yeah,
he's also got a big ass hammer, and how can you say no to that?
Right? Yeah, exactly. I do remember a DC with Lex Luthor had some kind of a battle suit.
Many versions of Luthor have had a battle suit.
Yeah. Yep. Who else do we got? I'm not sure. DC, DC fans in chat help me out because I'm a Marvel guy. So Gene asks, does a battle suit always need a power source? And to that question, to that end, is there
theoretically
a complication, or does the complication come from the battle suit, or how does that work?
Battle suits are built for complications, no pun intended.
Yeah.
They are terrific for all kinds of. The suit is out of power. The suit has been invaded by a virus. The suit is damaged in some way. That means some of its powers are non-functional or malfunctioning, which is a great power loss complication. Battle suits are great for all kinds of complications as far as that goes. The GM just needs to keep in mind that the occasional loss of a removable device is already included in the discount that the character gets from the removable flaw, and to not award too many complications based on that alone. That's already been sort of paid for up front.
I see.
But you can still do all kinds of complications related to the character's battle suit as far as that goes in play. And you can also, if you want, design your battle suit without the removable flaw and just rely on complications, so that you have a little bit more control over that sort of thing. I know there was a discussion early on before we get started on the stream where folks were talking about basically how often do battlesuit wearers get their armor taken away from them as far as that goes, and that is largely up to the player to decide.
That makes sense. Claude mentions a deep cut. There's a member of the blue team in Emerald City named Thunderbird, whose power armor is bigger than Ultramarines and made of scraps.
What?
Yeah,
that's cool.
From Powered Up. Yeah, thank you.
One of the novels.
Yeah, I completely forgot Star Knight is a battle suit.
Yes, Star Knight is an alien battle suit character.
This whole core of them.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm just catching up to chat. Mantis 1990s on Fox. Thank you, King Snarf.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, wasn't that... Okay, this is interesting. This rings a bit of a bell that the original Iron Man was supposed to be stuck in his power armor.
Well, yes and no. Originally, when Iron Man was conceived, and they touched on this in the MCU, the chest plate of his armor was designed to keep a piece of shrapnel that was near his heart from shifting and essentially killing him.
Right.
And so he had to wear the chest plate of the armor, sort of like a pacemaker, essentially at all times, and had to keep it powered up. And so the original Silver Age Iron Man, definitely had issues with the chest plate running low on power, and that potentially threatening a heart attack, and that kind of a thing. And eventually, writers just had him have heart surgery and had the shrapnel removed, and just got rid of
Figured it
that
out.
subplot.
Got you. Hey, Alex, I don't know if are you still here, mic wise?
We might have lost him.
Might have. We'll wait for him to arrive. Let's see here. Hey, Kate the Great. I just gotta say, I mean, you know me. I love to sing people's praises. It's my favorite thing to do. Kate the Great sent us just this wonderful collection. Kate had gotten some prizes to give away at a cosplay event at PAX Unplugged, and sent us just a delightful collection of images and such. Really, really appreciated it.
Awesome.
And it was just so nice to see that collection of goods. It was really, really fun. We'll show those off on social media. And
Yeah.
my thanks to you, Kate, for sure. Let's see. Angel asks, stone statue becoming armor through magic. Is that a type of battle suit?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can certainly have battle suits that are powered by magic instead of technology. As far as that goes, whether they're sort of magical mecha or enchanted suits of metal armor or any
Yeah.
number of other sorts of things, animated statues that you pilot like mecha.
Yeah. So to Gene's question about how do you make a magic battle suit?
In M&M, it's the same thing, because magic and technology are just descriptors. So the game traits can be exactly the same, and just one is magic and one is technology.
Nice. Let's see. Yes, as the saying goes, any sufficiently small mecha is indistinguishable from a battle suit. Yeah,
indeed.
Classic. Let's see. Dragon mech. What's that? Is that
I think that's an example of a magical battle suit.
Cool.
Or
Very
magical mecha, really.
Right, Kate. Yes, a very popular saying. Made famous, of course, by our friend Claude. A culinary battle for a chef character.
Sure.
All right. Bon appetit, as they say. Hi.
He's back.
I'm real again.
You're real. Let's see. John mentions there are some very early examples of battle suits, of power armor, heroes in the Golden Age.
Yep.
Even slightly earlier in comics, there was an armored hero called the Flame. Okay. Wearing a bulletproof and fireproof armor with a
flamethrower. Yeah.
People are asking if there could be organic battle suits, and I think Blue Beetle Jaime Reyes is probably an organic.
Yeah, basically. I mean, sort of techno-organic, but and that's raises a point of in the comic book history of battle suits have always sort of kept pace with whatever the cutting edge of science fiction technology has been. So it goes from the very sort of clunky Iron Man armor, where you're basically wearing a tank,
right.
to the my armor is made of nanotech and can morph and change and appear out of nowhere and heal itself and all that sort of a thing, or is made of organic technology or whatever other
organic
cool
technology, you say?
notion. Sure.
Like a gravy squatch,
for example, one of those liquid battle suits that just
no one knows really.
Right.
What is under that gravy?
That does lead me to one of my favorite tropes about battle suits is when the battle suit has a mind of its own.
Sure.
Goals independent of the hero.
Yeah, that's always a fun trope in the Iron Man Jarvis kind of back and forth.
Yep. Same thing with Blue Beetle and Kajida. Yeah.
Even the Homecoming Spider-Man suit, where there were rules that Tony put in that Peter couldn't overcome.
Yep.
That sort of had a Friday against or Karen against Spidey.
Yeah,
situation.
that's a fun complication to put into a battle suit too. Is it has a mind of its own, and occasionally it's like, nope, not going to do that.
I just want to say, SC Pilot, leotard battle suits are not just for women. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could be wearing one right now. You don't even know.
True. That's true.
I'm not, but
there are definitely instances of characters who have some very form-fitting battle suits.
Yeah, which seems dangerous.
It turns out to be, for example, Guardian, the leader of Alpha Flight, had
Oh
a
yeah,
very form-fitting battlesuit that proceeded to take a beating from an opponent of his and then blew up and killed him. So
that's right. That's right. I was awfully fond of Alpha Flight. I feel like they did that comic didn't necessarily take its place in the.
yeah, Alpha Flight unfortunately suffered from John Byrne, the creator, being kind of bored with them.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like it's kind of petered out, sort of.
Yeah,
Ugh,
Yeah,
that sucks.
and so he was definitely trying to liven things up.
absolutely. Hey, Chad, I'm gonna have to ask you to do me a favor. If I'm missing your, if I am missing your, I'm sorry, Troy and his birthday battle suit was unpleasant to think about. But I wanted everyone to do so. But yeah, if you've got a question that I've missed, I have to jump ahead because our chat is on fire as per the usual.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Bubblegum Crisis had some great battle suits.
Yes, lots of
Which-
mecha and robots and synthezoids and all of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Absolutely.
Did we cover Batman Beyond? Because I love Batman Beyond.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't-
another example.
yeah.
Speaking of form-fitting battlesuits.
Yeah, and I'm with you, full of monster men have looked good unitards for a long time. Not me particularly, but the hope, the dream, is that one
Mhm.
day I
Yeah.
have a corporeal form. Let's see.
That we could stuff into a Unitar.
That's right. That's
Oh, but
right.
just like a balloon, right? It would just need to be an airtight unitard.
I just look like a just like a flat, sort of sad little balloon.
Have you ever seen a balloon animal human? Would you like to?
Would you like to?
Would you like to? Oh, good times.
Yep.
Big guy from Big Guy and Rusty, the boy robot battlesuits.
Mm.
Says
Yep.
Dr. Wade. Okay.
Our own King Snarf also mentions Alpha Flight's other battlesuit, which was Box. Although Box was another one of those curious characters insofar as Box was basically a wearable robot
I
that
don't
the
remember that.
the user merged with.
Kind of vaguely. Who was Box's pal that they?
So originally, Box was invented by a scientist named Roger Box.
Okay.
Super inventive on John Byrne's part. Who was a paraplegic, and is another example of essentially creating a battlesuit that mitigates someone's disability.
Okay. Yeah.
But Box actually went through a number of wearers over the years after poor old Roger went kind of nuts.
Got you. Yeah, I need to crack open my comic book collection again, just to sort of look at them and refresh my memory. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. I like this idea. That's kind of fun. I mean, I didn't really think about the kind of genre mixing and sort of, but yeah, you could really have some fun.
Yeah. Actually, that's an interesting twist on another common trope with battlesuits, is that they're often, at least originally, conceived of as exploration vehicles. So far as that goes, Ultramarines armor is also similar in that it was originally designed to be for underwater exploration, and it had to have things like armor to protect you from the tremendous undersea pressure, and turbines to allow you to travel really fast underwater and all that. And basically it was like, or this would make a really good weapon.
Okay, yeah. Well, so when we talk about organic suits, I'm just sort of would Venom be a battle suit?
Kind of, I guess. If you
Yeah,
want to
some would say.
Now, does Venom?
It's
But
just,
does Venom
it's
kind
a
of
non-removable battlesuit, or removable via complication battlesuit instead of removable?
Probably doesn't have the removable flaw.
Now, do you have to be conscious, as you're when you're inside? Because doesn't Venom sort of take over your whole life? And
Yeah, Venom can drive you without you being conscious. I've seen that before.
yeah, that's kind of how if I remember correctly, that's how Venom was introduced, right? Through Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of the Queen Spider-Mans.
Of the Queen Spider-Mans.
That's right. That's right. Now, Bob asks a question. Bob Hugh says, Blue Beetle is techno-organic?
I'm not super clear one way or the other. I know that the Scarab is intelligent. I don't necessarily know if that means it's an artificial intelligence, or if it's in any way partly organic. Certainly, Blue Beetle's tech has sort of an organic feel to it. But
Yeah.
This might just be because my introduction to them is Young Justice, but isn't it the scion of an alien race?
well, it's the creation of an alien race
Hmm.
that built the scarabs, but it's unclear what they're made out of as far as that goes. And there's often a very unclear line between tech and techno-organic.
Hey, gents, we're at the halfway point. I want
Yeah.
to take this moment to remind people to, hey, make sure you're liking and subscribing. And you know what? Share this stream with a friend, someone you love, someone that would really appreciate the gift of,
Hmm.
talking about heroes and mutants and masterminds and, the three of us, which are just absolutely delightful. Not to mention that later on in the program, we're going to be talking about what's in the tank with our friend Devious.
Hmm.
And, so it's just like an action packed 90-ish minutes, give or take.
Right.
So share it with a friend. And now,
And if folks are enjoying the conversation in the chat here on the show, you can basically get this experience at the Atomic Think Tank anytime you want.
you sure can. Absolutely. There's so much going on, and much of it is happening in the tank. And you go to atomicthinktank.com. We have all kinds of fun stuff. I'm going to just flash this real quick. Look at this. This is our January calendar of things happening.
Mm.
And it's there's so much going on. You'll see these little red bits here. The red spots, basically the workshop, the actual play. Some of these dates have moved around a little bit. They are activities for the Cape and Cal Club.
Mhm.
And that's sort of I would say, our elite tier of superhero enthusiasts, mutants and masterminds fans. And we've got, the workshop, one of my favorite things that we do, and that's Alex and Steve hangs out, and they're working on something called the Pinewood Project, right?
Mhm.
Yes, it's very special.
Indeed.
Yeah. And it's just an opportunity to hang out and kind of get some exposure to the process of developing for TTRPGs. And so there's that level. And then there's just the sheer joy of storytelling, which is just so much fun. It's very, as a peripheral participant, I'm learning stuff, which I really enjoy. And then, of course, we've got the stat blocks. Those are coming out. We've got more to come. I
Mhm.
believe I've got one in the pipe and with more on the way.
Yes.
We're doing an actual play. I think we're rescheduling it
For
for this coming weekend. Yeah. Alex, do you want to give a little insight into the actual play, or you want to keep it
we're going to do an adventure on Starhaven that I'm putting together as a potential adventure for the convention season this year.
Nice.
nice? Well, and that's
Gonna
one of the fun
go
things.
out into the ice and look for something very mysterious and dangerous on behalf of our favorite criminal, Mama Kiger.
Oh no! Is that the? Oh no!
That's
That's
her
what
little
we.
sisters.
Oh yuck! She's basically popping off little versions of our sisters that on her back, right? Is that how that works?
Yes.
Blech. Pretty gross, but yeah, so that'll be fun. I'll be playing in that, so delightful.
Right.
For as much gravy squatch as I've foisted on you, I suppose I deserve it. But that's one of the fun things about the Cape and Cow Club is that you get sort of first-hand exposure to stuff.
Just remember, Troy, when you're into those negotiations, Mama Kiger asks you to scratch her back.
Oh, gross! So
Don't do it with
gross.
an ungloved hand.
Oh no, that will be upsetting. Then, of course, we have stuff like the dev chat, and that's where you get to hang out and just ask all the questions that you might have. And generally speaking, we come. I think we answer as mostly honestly, most of the time. But
Yeah.
a lot of cool stuff coming down the pike. It's $8 a month. Now, right now, you can join for. You get to actually the first month is free. You get to hang out and you get
Mhm.
to be a part of. You don't have to pay right away. And then if you decide to pay yearly, you get the first 2 months free.
Yeah.
And then so it's a pretty decent deal.
Yeah. It's a bargain.
Yeah, absolutely. Just go to atomicthinktank.com and join in the fun, because 99.99999% of the content and activities and stuff that happen in the think tank are free.
Yep, indeed.
So can't beat it. Cannot beat it.
So, Troy, a number of folks want us to update them on our new time.
Yes. Right. Yes. A new time. Well, so here's the thing, friends. Alex and Steve both have a laundry list of things to do, which one of them I'm sure is laundry. And so
Don't
moving
remind
this.
me, I still don't have a washing machine in my house. So anytime
Oh,
I do laundry, you got to go somewhere.
Oof.
So there we go. Sorry to remind you, but there you go. So moving it ahead so that we are 1 hour later than prior is because it gives these guys some more time to get the day done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's and that's what who doesn't need that. And the other thing too is I'm actually kind of excited to see if that shift, because we've been doing 2:00 since the inception
Since
of
the
this.
beginning, yeah.
Yeah, and 3:00 might give folks 3:00 Pacific, but it might give more people an opportunity to come and
drop
check
by.
out what we're doing. Yeah, absolutely. To that
RC,
end,
there was not a jog yesterday, but there will be a jog this Sunday.
Which
yes,
is
there will
joy
be.
of game mastering for those of you who are not.
That's right.
acquainted.
Yeah. So Sundays 2 p.m. We're kicking off that. That'll happen this coming Sunday. Alex, you just get to hang out and just talk. You get a GM and be a nerd and kind of dig into all the good stuff, right?
Yes, I do. Sorry, Claude took me out just now.
Claude isn't known to
Need
do.
to stat up a washing machine battlesuit stat.
Right.
Hey, that'd be handy. I like
I
that.
changed my mind. That's the only villain choice on the M&M mix-up this month.
Right.
I like this laundry McMahon.
The villainous team of washer and dryer.
We might have a little right. I like that. Yeah. Maytag Man might be copywritten or protected in some capacity.
It's fine.
Okay, yeah, whatever. So what else do we got here? Samus Aran, is that a
yes? Yes, she is. And she's a really cool example of iterative gameplay where the way her game works, because she's a battlesuit, she can add augments to that battlesuit that makes life easier.
Man, I love Metroid. I have not played it forever, but wow, I spent a lot of time. Good game. It's good to see you, RC. Let's see.
Bob Show, believe me, if we're talking about jogging, run the other direction because something is chasing me.
That's the only reason Alex is running.
Yeah. That's right. That's why you call it jog. Is because Alex is on a treadmill, and and you get to incrementally speed him up as he's running.
Right.
Hold on
now. Mega Man, sure. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Very cool. Okay, so other considerations, like I think I have seen in like for instance, Valiant Comics. There's the Marines, right? Are they wearing battle suits?
Yeah, you're talking about the Armorines.
Marines. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yes, they are wearing essentially knockoff battle suits based off of the EXO Manowar armor.
I see.
Essentially.
And now, are they?
Which also the Exo Manowar armor
is also a great battle suit.
Yeah, Ninjak too, right?
Yep. Ninjak's a little less battle suit and a little more Batman, but
okay, that works.
He definitely has plenty of gadgets, though.
So when you're thinking about the, there's of course the suite of Iron Man battle suits,
all the Iron Man armors.
Right. Hulkbuster is one I remember. I'm not sure. There's been a few, and that's when I also found out about Pepper Potts.
Yep.
And of course, why not? Why wouldn't Pepper step into with their proximity to Tony Stark?
I think Tony's put pretty much everybody who is friends with him into a suit of armor at one point or another.
Like Spider-Man too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so when you think about what are some of the is there a downside to, like, let's say they wanted to put together, they being players wanted to have a team of battlesuit heroes.
Yep.
What are some other ways that Mutants and Masterminds incorporates or makes the battlesuit experience more fun or even more challenging?
Yeah, there's something definitely. Anytime that you have all your players having their powers come from the same origin, you've got to do some work to make sure everybody has something they're good at, and that comes down to like, is this the tank character? Is this the blaster character? Is this the character who's really good at technology, like the person who built all the suits? So that everybody has something that they can showcase and shine through, even though they all look the same on paper.
Sorry, I'm laughing because our chat is the worst. Because our cease. There's a question about, I don't know, porta potty battle suits, and
we covered that earlier, RC. If you've been here.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah.
Did you guys talk about the porta potty transformer I saw?
Oh no.
No.
Somebody went into the porta potty and it transformed into a transformer and started doing burpees.
That's very unfortunate.
That's rude. Oh, funny. So there's a question right now about Hulkbuster armor. Is that a mecha or is it a?
Yeah, I mean, Hulkbuster kind of edges into the mecha territory as far as that goes. Any power armor that is generally much bigger than you is kind of more akin to a vehicle.
Fair enough. Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't know there was a Valiant Marvel crossover.
Yeah.
Interesting. What are some other considerations that folks should, take into account when building or creating their,
Well, Gene brought up one common point that some game masters may want to give some thought to, which is the infamous, so why don't they just mass produce these battle suits? And or why doesn't Tony Stark just put all of the Avengers in Iron Man armor in addition to all their other powers? I mean the default answer, and you can fall back on this anytime you want, game masters, is it's comics and it doesn't work that way.
Just
but if you want an actual in-world reason for it, there are all kinds of possibilities. Some of it can include things like the power armor includes rare materials or components that are super expensive and therefore not effective in terms of mass production. That they're too delicate and involved pieces of technology.
Yeah, maybe relying on a special power source that is limited.
Right. They may have a very limited power source. They may be particularly keyed to their wearers in some fashion, such that, like you need to attune the battlesuit to somebody's brainwave frequencies, for example, for them to use it. But then you can't reformat it. So they're basically one-use deals, which is pretty much going to be a deal breaker for, say, the military. They're not going to want a battle suit that only one soldier can ever use.
Right. Who's permanently attached, or no one else can use it. Yeah, that would be interesting too, to have a consideration where only special kinds of humans with a gene or something can.
Yep. There is the possibility that some kind of latent superpower is necessary to run the battle suit, or the similar sort of thing that shows up in some superhero settings that. Basically, super inventors essentially have a superpower of their own, which is that they make this impossible technology work.
Yeah,
it shouldn't, and therefore they're the only ones who can actually build it.
Right.
If they don't build it, it doesn't work. Therefore, it literally can't be mass produced or reproduced by anybody else except another super genius.
Gotcha. Oh, you know what? I don't think we've talked about Dr. Doom yet.
Yeah, classic battlesuit guy. In a lot of regards.
Classic battlesuit guy with a bunch of other stuff.
Right, a ton of other things, as far as that goes.
And as a GM, what are some, clever conundrums to put your battle tech, people and your battle armor folks? What are some unique? Because SC Pilot mentioned that I just saw the mention of an EMP, which is always the classic sort of all the power's been turned off because someone blew up or whatever, But
I really love. I know we talked about this, but I really love the idea of the power armor kidnapping the pilot. For its own nefarious
gaining
reasons.
sentience in some capacity, and
that
could be
for that matter, just having a villain whose ability is to hijack technology. If you run into essentially a technokinetic, who can control technology, then your battlesuit's in trouble.
Right. Yeah. You know what I also love is the notion of I was thinking of this mass-produced battlesuit idea and the having it, run afoul of consumer protection laws and have, like
Yep.
there's all kinds of weird stuff that goes on and
Sure.
having the power-suited folk or the battlesuit people have to the heroes have to unpack all of that and
Yeah.
suddenly fighting a bunch of
Like Paul
ish.
points out, oftentimes in the comics, you will get sort of the B-list battlesuits, that are less powerful overall and less effective, are the ones that end up in the hands of, like the police and the military and things like that.
Yeah.
Aegis, it's the Max suits.
Yeah,
is
the
that
Aegis
right?
Max suits are a great example of that.
Oh, sure. Marvel, Shield has some.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some good suit. MODOK is the mental organism designed only for killing.
He's not a battlesuit. No.
Oh, is MODOK the big?
He's the big giant head.
Yeah, the big head, right? Yeah,
Yep.
he's not in a jar, is he? He's just sort of.
No, he's sort of zipped up in a container,
Right. Yeah, has he ever been out of that?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Only at the Greek spot.
I don't know if I want to see it, but I kind of do. Yeah, I'm thinking I do, but I don't think I do. Yeah.
He just has really cute little butt cheeks.
I just do.
Right. He's basically got a little baby's body, So, I mean.
Right. Or like a giant baby's body, right? But still, yeah, weird. Let's.
He has the head of a frost giant and the body of a toddler.
Yep. Exactly. So saith Thor.
Oh no, your armor wants to turn this from an RPG into a dating simulator. Run or don't if you're into the
Right.
I love that. I do. Hypervelocity was a short series in which Tony's armor takes over and runs a mission to save him while he's inside it. Okay, interesting.
Yep. Indeed. Yeah, I mean, if there's
I think there was a story arc. There was a story arc where Iron Man's armor was in love with it, right?
Honestly, if there's a power armor story arc, Iron Man has done it at one point or another.
Right. Yeah. Right. Oh, is this Deep Six prison guards? Is Deep Six like the prison for super power?
That is the aquatic prison off of the west coast of North America near Emerald City, and they also have battlesuits similar to the Max armor.
Very nice. Let's see. In Marvel Comics, the power armor group within S.H.I.E.L.D. is known as the Mandroids.
Yep, they are indeed.
The
Mandroids.
Name, the Mandroids.
Yep.
Like something straight out of the 60s.
Well, it literally was, actually.
Yeah.
Late 60s, but yeah.
I believe it.
James Bond had to break into.
Oh, that's a good question. MODOK versus Krang.
That'd be a fight.
That would be a fight.
Especially if it was a fist fight.
Oh my god.
Well, Alex is
no good in a fist fight. It's the little kick. He's good at little kicks.
Right. Actually, exactly. It would be like more little kicking.
Now, listen, if people are going to be at Gen Con coming, we might want to talk everybody into joining us for some karaoke because I'm telling you, that's the MODOK you want to see. Alex
I am
Thomas.
the mental organism designed only for karaoke.
It's a sight to behold. It's a sight to behold.
I ran a whole adventure with a bunch of different MODOK acronyms once.
Right.
That's awesome. I love it. We
had a MODOK with a Q who was designed for questing. He would hand out weird fetch quests to the heroes to go get things for him.
I love this. Kate, this is great. Here's a challenge. With giving them super friendly, impatible dogs and cats, or maybe you don't really get the joy of petting if you're all armored up.
You're all armored up.
That's
true.
Cute.
Wait, but who's asking if Ratatouille is a battlesuit?
All right, come on. Who is that?
No, Ratatouille is a mech pilot.
Facts.
Yeah. Likewise, Krang is essentially a mech pilot.
I don't know that this is true. But that's hilarious. It's short for Geneva.
It does not, in fact, but
that is so good. Yes, Kate. Honestly, let's get our heads together. Maybe we'll do like a surprise karaoke party somewhere with Alex and just hand him a microphone. It'll be fun.
I have a rolling speaker we can make use of.
Oh, that's a good question. Adrian asks a question. Good to see you, Adrian. Whoops, that's here we go. Sorry, the chat is moving fast. Power
Right.
Rangers, are they wearing power armor?
Well, their armor lets them connect with the morphine grid.
The morphine grid. That's a
That's how they
darker
morph.
version of the Power Rangers than
That's
I'm.
why it's morphin time.
Oh,
It's not morphine time.
That's a different kind of grid.
I thought you said the morphine grid. I was like, wow, okay. I don't recall that. My version of the.
Morphing.
That's awesome. Let's see. Oh yeah, Bear. We gotta connect then. Yeah,
Yep.
because hey, I'm not good at it, but especially not good at it when you juxtaposed against Mr. Karaoke over here.
If you are having fun, you are good at it.
That's very sweet, and everybody generally speaking, I'm presuming, because I will say there were a couple people who popped up, and I'm like, oh boy, like that's. Yeah, couldn't get flatter. It's some morphine time. So, yeah.
It is a very relaxed time.
Oh no, the Power Rangers are tripping balls. Let's see. Are the Rangers able to pilot the Zords without their suits?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's too deep for Power Rangers lore for me.
Maybe even just for anybody. Maybe even for the Power Rangers themselves.
I worked on one of the Power Rangers books, and I can't answer that question.
Yeah, I don't
know. Very funny. Let's see. There's an old Brave and the Bold where the Adam Ratatouille's Batman's corpse. Is that true?
Yep. That is 100% true. Yes. It's actually based on an old Brave and the Bold comic where that story happens. Where the Atom is basically like manipulating Batman's brain from the molecular or cellular scale while Batman is in a coma.
Oh, nice, charming. Oh my gosh,
oh world,
we've done it again. Well, I have.
Yeah.
We're almost done. We're almost. Yeah. I mean, there's so much more Battlesuit stuff to be discussed, but I'll have to save it for another time.
It's only so much time in which to discuss it.
Well, in the short time that we do have, hey, folks, don't jump away because we will be talking with Devious. We'll be doing a What's in the Tank, and we've got 2 weeks worth of stuff to talk about, and some award winners. They did some Battlesuits creation, and in preparation for the show. So we have that as well. But
wow, and Gene is giving us the perfect lead-in by asking if we're going to see Chrono Crisis Part 3 soon.
Yeah. So what's cooking in the world? Let's do some updates.
We're going to see that very soon. As far as I know, it's ready to go out the door.
I believe it is. I'm
done with it. Whoever's in charge of it now is.
Alex is like, not it.
That's right. So yeah. So then it went through. It goes into the editing. I do believe it's been handed over. So we're looking for a good date for that. I'm imagining it'll be very, very soon. More updates on that to come. Any other things that we want to share potentially?
We have our Dev Q&A on Wednesday night this week.
We do?
That's right. Yeah.
And if you haven't heard it yet, please go check out the Titan City Serial podcast, which is my new Mutants and Masterminds actual play podcast. It takes place in our fun Titan City setting.
Maybe maybe it was me, but you got a little robot-y, and I wasn't exactly sure. Is it me?
Oh,
a little bit.
Is that robot-y?
Yeah, you were.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't yet, please go check out the Titan City Serials podcast anywhere podcasts can be found.
Yeah.
That's my new Mutants and Masterminds actual play that is free to listen to and is a bunch of M&M in my Titan City setting that we're spinning up here at Green Room.
Yeah.
Love that. Steve, do you have some updates or anything you want to share going on in the Steve Kinson cinematic universe?
I think that the big thing right now is we are going to be doing upcoming playtesting of future Mutants and Masterminds product in the Cape and Cowl Club on Atomic Think Tank. So folks who are subscribers on the Atomic Think Tank will start soon getting a preview at some of our future products and plans, and a chance to get some not only sneak peeks at them, but a chance to provide us with their input and feedback on how they're working out.
Absolutely.
I can't say what it is, but it's like one of the coolest opportunities for M&M.
So I think it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, and not to put too fine a point on it, but you'll want to be there. So check that out. Okay, so thank you for the link, RC, dropping a link to the Titans City Serials. But I think that's it, gentlemen. We have a couple more minutes, but that's okay. We're going to transition over to what's in the tank. But all in all, I think our new home is feels pretty good.
Yeah, I'm liking it. We shake a few of the loose wires out, but we'll get it.
Absolutely. Now we're also gearing up. We're moving towards. So people have applied for to be a moderator on our Moonbeam channel, and I didn't dare open it up. Given just new tech, I'm trying to keep it pace. If you folks are interested in participating in that way, send a note to. You can send a note to me on the Think Tank. That'll be the best way to do that. Moonbeam is a great streaming service that is really built to support the TTRPG community with great moderation tools and all kinds of good stuff. This isn't a paid advertisement. We just like it. And so the whole idea of it. And the more exciting part of that is that they operate on an economy of bits and sort of moonbeams. No, I think they're moon chunks, moon slivers. They're a currency that people pick up for real cash, and then you pay you give it to people that you enjoy as they're streaming, and we get to, through Moonbeam, a revenue split. We get to split it out with our moderators and our streamers and all kinds of stuff. And so, really exciting. Looking forward to the developments there. So don't miss it. You'll get more information on how to join up, and if you're you want to participate in that program, you feel like you got some moderation chops on you. Let's talk on the Think Tank. But how about this? Why don't we let you guys go? Thank you so much, Steve and Alex. Always a delight, a good conversation. And of course, the best ones are the ones where people, where there's more to be said. So absolutely a joy. And we'll be back here in just a moment with what's in the tank. Ciao, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Have fun.
Hey,
howdy.
It's what's in the tank. And where are you at, my friend?
Well, I cannot seem to get my OBS camera working.
Oh, well, that's okay.
I put the video settings as OBS, virtual camera, but it does not seem to be working at the moment. But here I am.
Yeah. Here you are.
Here I am.
Here you are. We're talking about the Atomic Think Tank. Now, let me tell you, friends, the Atomic Think Tank is a community hub for Mutants and Masterminds, and other. It's really for Green Ronin products, and anything that we published. You can come and join us and talk, ask questions across the whole library of our books and titles. And this particular feature is because Mutants and Masterminds is just gangbusters on the Think Tank. We bring Devious in, who shares a little bit of the what's going on. It's really not behind the scenes; it's really the scenes themselves, right?
Right.
Well, let's talk about it.
Well, no problem. First of all, the first thing on the What's in the Tank news thing was Mumamo is now 1 hour later. I'm sure everybody's catching up with that, but
that's right.
Also, the fact of the matter is Joy of Game Mastering now moving to Sundays, 2 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Eastern, covering all the bases there. Sure. We've got a lot of new stuff in the tank because I didn't do it for 2 weeks, but now we're back. We've got a lot of stuff. I just wish I could show my screen somehow. We've got the Legion Replacements by Matt Mabray, Psychology of Rewards in Mutants and Masterminds by Devious Hearts, and that's actually based on a video I saw by RPG PhD. Really, really good video. It's in the tank. Go check that out.
Now,
Crafting.
Devious, hold on real quick. What Devious is talking about, these are articles that you can go and check out and read. In addition to, you're going to hear some stat blocks and other things. We have contests running, all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
Oh, no problem. And I put the link for the invite for the tank in the chat already. I'm going to probably open and do that again in just a moment.
Nice.
I've got articles on the psychology of rewards and Mutants Masterminds. I mentioned crafting complications using connections, goals, and subplots in Mutants Masterminds. We have a GM challenge, a plot hook challenge out there called the Stolen Stars. I did a article on the abilities report card, basically how they're balanced and whatnot. And Paul did earlier. I did something on dystopias and why to fight the good fight, going over different dystopias, in the future, how different politics can go. And it's kind of a talk about if the heroes are working against the man, the machine, the organization that wants to be in power, that wants to subjugate them, all the different types of dystopian kind of worlds or campaign worlds you can make. And Paul Rua, basically, God bless him, he did a Save the Day, a dystopian campaign framework for M&M based on, that. And he's always great to if I put something out there, he generally will pick it up and run with it. God bless him. But we also have a number of Aegis files. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Just too many to count. We've had so many because we had 2 weeks worth of Aegis files, and of course Matt Mabray and Steinbrewer are out there. But of course, also there were 2 contests that were running. One of them was the Armor Up contest, which is basically about power armor. Make a power armor, get in there and put it out there. But we also had the Rodent Revolution and Woodland Wonders contest. And well, if I was able to show you my screen, I could do the big build up for the Green Ronini and tell you who the winners were and show it on the screen. But OBS is not my friend right now.
No worries.
All right. Well, I did want to give a badge update. I went through and counted up all the badges.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, so let's go over that.
Are these the giveaway? Are these are special
just the badges? Right. These are the badges for Freedom City Library articles and for Aegis Files write-ups.
Because if you go to the Badgerium, you can badge yourself in some capacities. You kind of let people know what you're a fan of, but these are actual prizes or sort of levels that people have reached with their contributions.
Badges you have to earn, and boy howdy, we have a new person who has now attained the Luminary badge. That's right, the Luminary badge. The only other person besides myself to get that is Steve Kenson. But now there is another person who now has 35 total articles in Freedom City Library, and it's Paul Rua. Let's give it up.
Paul Rua. Nice. Very, very nice, Paul. Congratulations, and thank you for all your contributions. You get a shiny badge.
That's right. Also, we have somebody who is now Savant, which is 5 articles in the Freedom City Library. Jacob Gross has 9 total articles in there.
Nice.
Matt Mabray has 3 total articles in there, so he gets the Scholar badge. And we've got about 5 people who recently put in articles, 1 or 2. They got the Scribe badge, and that's Julio Cesar, Simon Wentworth, Daniel Skinner, Dominic Fusil, and Dane Bauer.
Nice. Welcome to the club, and always a joy and a delight. I've read, there's a couple that I need to catch up on, but the thing I love about these articles is that they're very useful. They're well written, and it is very. I can't even think of one. Where it's been like, oh, it's kind of a rough one, but it's so. And that's not to say that anybody can contribute, and it lands you in the space of other M&M scholars, if you will. And the cool thing about that is that we're going to be working on a kind of, we talked to Devious and I meet on Sundays to kind of talk about what's coming, but we were like, is it an annual? Is it a quadrannual or what is something? It's going to
Is it
be of some,
week? No,
yeah,
month,
no, yeah.
quarter. Kind of.
Why we're struggling with the timing on this is that there's so much great content that what we're going to do is a kind of a compendium, a collection of these.
Yeah.
Now, it won't be a kind of an official Green Ronin publication, of course, but it is a way to sort of celebrate the work that people have put into these phenomenal evergreen articles that are just good to read and interesting no matter when they were written and when you read them. Quite a bit of great you name it, and we keep coming up with really wonderfully creative takes and just some real fundamental things for people to know about Mutants Masterminds as a GM, as a player, creating characters, you name it.
Yeah, and one of the people just at the very, very beginning, they said, "Hey, I'm here to learn how to run Mutants and Masterminds, or here to learn the game." And one of the very first articles I did was on how to run your first, Mutants and Masterminds campaign. It's a 3-parter. If you look for the oldest item in the library, you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, we should do a feature where we kind of pull out some of those, the real evergreen, interesting kind of topics, so that we can kind of keep people. Hey, see you, RC. RC says I must bounce to prep for tonight's recording, but I agree that the articles are all great. So contribute. And one of the things I'm looking forward to is seeing people who joined the tank kind of, new and were just kind of exploring, and then seeing them write an article. That's one that'll happen in a moment. I'm really looking if it hasn't already, but I'm very much looking forward to that.
Well, I also wanted to say we're getting ready to get into the Aegis file badges, and boy howdy, there's only like 2 people who've gotten to this level so far. The Aegis National Director, which is 50 total stat block write-ups in Aegis files. That, of course, Chris Davies and Steinbrewer. Steinbrewer's got 108. Chris Davies has 72. But now there is somebody now who has 67 total Aegis stat blocks, and one of the big badges, Aegis National Director Matt Maybray.
Congratulations. Welcome to the team. That is fantastic. And also, I really can't put too fine a point on it. We're not talking about just crumb bum, throw it at the wall and see if it. This is like, I don't know what crumb bum means. I think I better just beat that up. So if it means something else that's offensive, I do apologize. But it's no, simple crumb bum. It's actually like some real deep thought goes into the backstory. And here's the other thing as well: the library is a living library meant for you to take inspiration, to borrow, to grab a couple villains and some heroes, or whatever it is that you're kind of looking for. It's meant to be interactive. It's not just a museum of cool things. It is a place of work, right?
Absolutely. I also wanted to mention that we have a new regional director as well, in Jack Kellum.
Hey, Jack! Congratulations! I love that.
Yeah. I recently got the Aegis City director because I have 11 total stat block entries now. Big cool. Nate got up to special agent in charge because he's got over 5. He's got 6 totals.
Nice.
And we have also 5 new special agents. That mean they have at least 3 stat blocks in the Aegis files. With 4 total stat blocks, we have Arakor Varak and Brandon Brewer. With 3 total right now, we have Dominic Fusil and Brenton Hudson.
Nice.
And we've got Julio Cesar as a brand new Aegis agent trainee with 2 articles.
Very cool.
He's moving his way up. But I know that there are some people who entered the Armor Up contest and also the Road and Revolution Woodland Wonders contest.
Yeah.
And I wish I could show my graphic. It's so pretty. It's just look.
Is it up on the tank?
I will be.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, the winners for Armor Up contest was Matt Maybray with the Steel Mole.
Not the Steel Mole.
Now, I also want to say Matt Maybray is one of the few people who's got a double header. That means he's won 2 Green Raninis.
Oh.
So he's well on his way to set Hall of Fame status there. The only other people who have done that are, I believe, Paul Rua and I think one more person. I don't know. I've got to look through there, but Paul Rua has 2, and I'll figure it out later. Anyway, Bat Maybray won the armor up, and now the winner of the Rodent Revolution and Woodland Wonders contest, is Brenton Hudson with Kick Bun.
Kick Bun.
Kick Bun, the armored rabbit.
Sounds like a real crumb bum, if you ask me.
No, it's no crumb bum. It's Kick Bun.
So a rabbit
In power
villain.
armor. So he got tricky with it. He
It's
made
a rabbit.
That's right. He made a rabbit character who's also in power armor.
That is great. I love it. I love the culture jamming stuff there. Now those 2 fries are up, but those 2 people are right. Those 2 we're talking about. What were the names again? It was
the winner for the armor up was Matt Maybray.
Matt Maybray.
And the winner for Rodent Revolution was Brenton Hudson.
Now let me say this: it is generally speaking, the badges are kind of like a recognition of your contributions and stuff. But the winners of the contest, you basically get to go to the Green Ronin online store and pick out your thing. Go on a shopping spree of one thing, and you will get it as a gift from us.
PDF of your choice.
That's right.
Don't forget they have the big bundle in there of all first and second edition stuff. So if you want to clean up and get a lot of information, just a lot of really good background stuff for a campaign, that's the bundle to buy.
Talking about the mega bundle of Mastermind stuff. It's I mean, we've had a couple people found a loophole and they ended up picking that. That's one product, but it is filled with all the products. That's just one example, but absolutely.
Or you can also pick up, product prices.
That's me. Thank you. Which one is you, SC Pilot? Which one are you? Let us know in chat.
Jason Cochran.
Hey.
That's right. Jason Cochran has 2 Green Raninis as well.
Nice, very nice.
That's who it was. Thank you very much, Paul. We appreciate that.
Listen,
both of our double Green Ronini winners, other than Matt Maybray, are both from Australia.
You're kidding me.
They breed them different down there.
They are. They do. Let's see. Bear asks, where do you look to find the topic for drawing character creation contests?
Well, we normally announce it here in the Think Tank, but also if you go to the M&M Commons, it is anytime we have a contest, we announce it in the feed for the M&M Commons. So if you go there, go to the public forum, you'll see any announcement for any kind of contest. We don't have one for this week right now. We're probably going to get one ready to announce next week, but it's basically we'll put them out there. We'll let people know. We will inform you about it coming up for you, so you can get ready for it and get in the tank and get your items in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I dropped a link in chat to the to that page, so check it out. Hey, the other thing I wanted to mention real quick, I do have more. What's in the tank?
Do I have any more?
Are we good? No, we don't need
more. I
think
we're good. We've got the announcements done. We got the badge information out there.
Yeah.
I think I'm good. Are you good?
Fantastic. So I'm going to move into one of the things I want to share, and folks may not have seen this. Maybe you're sitting on some corrections or some anomalous information as you've combed through the really anything in the library. We have the new errata submissions page, and that is basically a database of you enter in the information. There's just very simple questions. It's a form. It is a Google form that we've been using for some time now, and it basically gives we get your email. We include your name and your and then the details specific to the anomalous thing that you discovered, and then that gives our developers an opportunity to go in and do a deep dive and figure out what's going on. So I highly encourage folks to utilize that form. And maybe you're like, oh, I wonder if this has been covered. So if you found something and you're not sure, go ahead and give us all the details, and we'll get back to you in some measure of time. But we might have more questions, or just a thank you, or imagine that over the course of 20 some odd years, 22 years, 21 years, that many of the errors and things that you might find in some older editions have been covered. But if you think it hasn't, feel free to drop a note, and we would appreciate that. So I think
Absolutely.
that's about it. I feel like there's one more thing. Why am I? Oh, I do want to give out a little hint, or a little sort of a view into the future. We are working on I would say it's kind of an awards ceremony of sorts, where for Green Ronin to kind of look at the community and recognize the wonderful things that you have done with great prizes, recognition of contributions, and all that good stuff. So keep your eyes open for something, and we'll be making more news about that, and information and details and stuff. But we're looking to do something in February, so could be mid to late. But keep your eyes and ears open. It'll be a lot of fun. And
in February.
February. Yeah. Ultimately, it's just an opportunity for the team to look out into the community and say thank you for all the good works that folks have done. But yeah, so that's all I got. I think this is. I think we're good. Are we ready to go?
I'm ready to go. I'm good to go.
So am I. All right, friends, do have a wonderful rest of your week. Don't forget, go over to atomicthinktank.com. You've got questions, you can ping me. You've got Mutants Masterminds stuff. The community is there ready to help out. And we'll see you this Thursday for Thursdayge. And then, of course, Mutants Masterminds Monday, the following Monday. Until then, have a great time. Goodbye.